Hi, my name is Mike Kuwayan, and I'm teaching a freshman seminar entitled Growth this semester. And what you're going to be observing today is a discussion of the recent research surrounding the relationship between growth and happiness. I want to just ask you what your impression is about the methodology which is used both by Easterlin and by the studies that you were asked to read today. I mean, it's basically survey evidence on how happy people are. Are you persuaded by this? Is a valid way to measure happiness? Is this really scientific?
So instead of like the kind of research that they're doing that's like really trying to establish which one causes which, I feel like maybe we could get a lot more out of just like studying and trying to learn as much as we can about the interaction of all these different variables and then try to do something about it, because I think it is kind of pointless to try to identify like which thing is causing exactly the other, because I think it's going to be so different within each individual country, and that we're just going to get nowhere if we like think that it's that simple and that someday we can figure that out.
Maybe they have a more extreme like version of that where, you know, it's just the idea that you should be happy, so you say you're happy. So I mean, if we don't know enough about the culture, I feel like we can't base so much of what we're saying based on one country, because we don't understand the culture and maybe how they would have perceived that question, because it might have been different.
It seems to me that when you're looking at the trend and whether or not it's valid, for both of the two, like when you look at the above 20,000, things start to break down because the standard error is a lot bigger than the coefficient. Is that right? But if you look at the above 12,000 and the below 12,000, which are your two main things you're looking at, your standard error is considerably smaller than your coefficient. And doesn't that mean that this is statistically relevant and there is a general trend that we can follow?
No, that's exactly right.
But for instance, take Venezuela, right, on that chart, which has very low GDP per capita, but extremely high life satisfaction. Like, I feel like that sort of bucks those trends of what you guys are talking about.
If you look at the same country over time, as it gets richer, do we see satisfaction? These two authors argue that if you go back and kind of fix the data for changes in questions and whatnot, actually you do see it in Japan, you do see it in Europe. The only country where you don't see it is the US.